all of journalism in India and all over the world is clearly being compromised. But I do believe that within the limitations, you have to do your best and in a very intelligently sly way get across what you want to without creating the kind of disruptions that would get you out. You have to work within the constraints. I think we all attempt to do that. It's very hard. Hi, I'm Namita Devidayal from Bombay and just absolutely delighted to be at this extraordinary festival, the Kerala Literature Festival, which is on a beach and has just like the entire population of Calicut is here, and it's so lovely because it's so egalitarian and I'm seeing people from all ages and communities just mingling, enjoying themselves, attending all kinds of sessions. Fabulous. Just wonderful and so inspiring. Just when we thought that books were over. So lovely to be part of the Kerala Lit Fest Apostrophe.
I thought you'll be practicing only. Okay. So you are a journalist, you are a singer, you are a writer. Which role you love the most?
There's no such thing as loving anything more. It's like what I'm doing at that time is what I love. And really, I do love every single thing as much. You know, even if I'm sitting and chatting with my most shallow friend, I love it. If I'm cooking, I love it. If I'm running, it's like whatever I do, I just am getting into it, you know, at that moment.
You are still contributing articles and content to Scroll and Caravan, right? Another phase of Indian media.
Yes.
They are very responsible, they are very serious,
yes.
They never shy away from controversies or
yes.
the topics that can burn their hands.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me about the responsible media journalism that right now in India? Is it responsible enough? Is it political enough? Is it impartial enough? As a journalist?
It's a tough question, but basically I think all of journalism in India and all over the world is clearly being compromised. But I do believe that within the limitations, you have to do your best and in a very intelligently sly way get across what you want to without, creating the kind of disruptions that would get you out. You have to work within the constraints. I think we all attempt to do that. It's very hard.
So, how you evaluate yourself as a journalist in contemporary India? If the media, the journalism is always under pressure, how you evaluate yourself and how you evaluate the journalism field of the country?
I actually evaluate myself quite low because I feel like I haven't engaged as much in journalism as I would like to. I've kind of focused more on writing books, but I only feel grateful that I have the opportunity to be a journalist. I'm very part-time now, but whenever I do engage in that world, I try my best to avail of, belonging to the most widely circulated English newspaper, the kind of reach it has. It really makes you want to be responsible and kind of like do the right thing because you know that it can have some impact. And so I actually wish I was doing more like ground reporting, but it hasn't really been in my current, destiny or whatever you say.
When you're in Calicut, as you are more into Hindustani music, you know that Malabar has a special love, special respect for Hindustani music.
Oh, really? I didn't know that at all. But these are things that are so universally beloved because there's a certain they rise above the location, and I love listening to T.M. Krishna, whether he's singing Carnatic music or doing something interesting and innovative. It's really not, at some point music does transcend boundaries, so I love that.
So I will recommend that you explore the musical history and musical journey of Calicut and especially Malabar area.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do love Hindustani music a lot.
How wonderful.
And ghazals have a special place here.
I have noticed a certain very, very charming cosmopolitanism in this place, and it's given me a lot of joy, really, because there's a vibrancy here which I can't quite put my finger on, but it's very evident in the air.
Yes, but especially for Hindustani music. I can vouch for that.
Wow.
Yes,
Nice.
it is there. How your interest in Hindustani music has helped you to evolve as a more creative person? Music itself
Oh,
is a healer.
There's no question. So the thing is that, I think we live in a very performative kind of a era, and so everything is done very purposefully towards an end. And I think for me, learning music was just about changing a certain sensitivity within me, which I suspect has applied to many other fields within my life. So it's not about whether I become a great singer and I'm able to give a performance. I mean, that's really not in the horizon at all, and never has been, other than a brief interest in trying to become a professional singer, which I realized I couldn't do. But I love the idea that, now if I listen to music, I know that I have an extra tuned in sensitivity to it. And I suspect that has impacted even the way I write and even the way I conduct myself. I think you learn the value of nuance, and you learn the value of, I guess, so many things that I can't even quite articulate, but it gives you a certain meditative quality that becomes part of your muscle memory, that I think saves you from a lot of things in the world.
Your books so far has been so different from each other.
Yeah.
One is on Vilayat Khan Sahib.
Yes.
And other is on Mumbai-based family and its dynamics.
Yes.
It's so different. How it comes to you? I mean,
so I think I subconsciously have had such a diverse engagement with the books I write, because I don't like the idea of being siloed. I don't believe that any of us are any one thing. We can be dominatingly one dominant trait, but I really think that we engage with different parts of ourselves. And these 4 books that I've written have been on different areas that I have kind of engaged with in my life. So one is clearly Indian classical music, and the other was a book based on some very fascinating details that I encountered in my extended family, which is a very typical business family, a Banya family, their relationship with money. I found that was also a microcosm of a world that I wanted to write about. So I turned it into a novel. And then my latest book, as you know, is my journey into the Upanishads and spirituality, which I am equally very drawn to. And I really think that, we have to learn how to be more layered rather than siloed. We're living in a very siloed way, in a very binary way, in a very kind of trying to put oneself in a box way. And I hate that. So I think that's why I've written on all these 4 books, because, these very diverse subjects, because they're all a part of me, the deep, the shallow, the fun, the serious, and that's so nice, and that's how I'd like to remain.
Yes, it's a real good combination. Actually, we can draw parallels between music and spirituality.
Sure.
But we cannot draw parallel with journalism and spirituality. It's different.
I don't agree. I'll tell you why. What is spirituality? It's a engagement with something that is higher than the self, whatever be the god or the particular denomination. That's kind of irrelevant. It's an engagement with something that I think forces you to look within, and when you kind of recalibrate that within space, your engagement with the rest of whatever you're doing with the external world changes, right? I mean, you sort of are more mindful with about the way you engage your relationships, your encounters. You're less sort of self-absorbed, perhaps, because you believe that, there is something higher guiding you. And so I think that even when it comes to journalism, there is inherent in journalism kind of a respect for the public good. Journalism is not about just telling happy stories. It's about trying to bring something out that will cause that little change for the better. And so I think that there is a connection, because you actually are even more empowered and more kind of motivated to write in a way that will be for the larger good. So they actually are coming from the same space, but in very different routes, But I think one should talk about the essence of spirituality rather than all the kind of ritualistic aspects that end up coming with it. And I think when you break it down to its essence, even journalism and spirituality can be connected. And one must try and look at everything in that way. And I do believe that, among journalists, there is such a deep sense of good, of wanting to do good, of like looking out for others who are even strangers. That isn't that essentially spiritual living?
It's a wonderful thought, I have to admit. It's
a little bit
nice,
counterintuitive, right?
Yes.
But again, one is tending to I don't even believe that the spiritual and the secular are very different from each other. Secular is just the way you live. Spiritual is like the infrastructure of thought that guides that. So I really think that these words have all become loaded. Everybody is just carrying all these heavy weights around and thinking in ways that are so sort of conflicting all the time, and real life carries on. You go and talk to a farmer, he will pray before sowing his seeds, or she will pray before harvesting. So there is a kind of a natural and organic engagement with the spiritual, which essentially is just like saying, can I have a better harvest? Can I have good monsoon for my crop? So we are all essentially spiritual beings, whether we like to admit it or not. In public life, yes, there should be a defining factor of secular, but now I'm not going to get into that because it's entering some other terrain.
It's a wonderful thought. Thank you for your time.